Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a camel. First we'll draw a few simple shapes for structure, then we'll add the final drawing on top using easy line work, and then we'll color the drawing for the final result. I'll include a link for the materials used in the description below. Let's jump in. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. And an easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's height, and then on the sides, make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. And sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. Also, pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. And you don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a cup or a lid, or anything else with a circular edge. And to the right, let's draw another circle as a guide for the back portion of the body, and let's draw a couple of small marks for the sides of this circle, and a couple of small marks for the height of this circle, and then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of this circle as well. And notice that this circle is slightly smaller than the first circle, and the two circles aren't so close together. They're actually slightly far apart. Otherwise the camel will be too long or too short, so make sure that they're not that far apart and not that close together. And on the top left side, let's draw another circle as a guide for the head. So it's just slightly diagonal to the first circle. Make a few small marks. One more time just to indicate the sides of the circle, and then connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of that circle as well. And this circle definitely has to be slightly farther apart from the first circle because camels have long necks, so you don't want to draw the circle too close to the first circle. And then across the head, just draw a sloping line, and this will be a guideline to place the facial features later. This will also guide you on determining the tilt of the head, so because this is tilted up on the left side, the head will be slightly looking up. And now on the left side, draw another small circle as a guide for the muzzle. So you can use the 4 marks method or just lightly sketch a smaller circle. Pay attention to the size of this circle in relation to the head. Don't make it too small because it's almost, I would say, half the size of the head. And the head itself is about a quarter the size of the first circle, so don't make the head too big either. And now below the front part of the body, draw a long angled line as a guide for the front leg. And bend the line near the middle just to indicate a joint on the leg. And pay attention to how long this line is in relation to the rest of the body. So it's sort of 1.5 times the size of the height of the first circle. And to the left, draw another long angled line as a guide for the other front leg. And at the bottom, draw short lines as guides for the feet. And make sure that the lines sort of line up at the bottom. So don't make this line too long or too short. Make sure that they're about the same length. And below the back portion of the body, draw another long angled line as a guide for the hind leg. And bend the line near the middle as well, just to indicate a joint, and add a short line at the bottom to indicate the foot. And one last line to the left as a guide for the other hind leg. Now connect the head to the body using a couple of curved lines to create the guide for the neck. So these are sort of U-shaped lines to create the shape of the neck. So they just dip down at the bottom and then connect it to the neck, and make sure that the shape of the neck is thick as well. Don't make it too thin. And now connect the body circles to create the torso. And at the top, draw a tall curved line for the hump And you don't have to make it that tall. Later on we can make the hump even taller if we'd like, but for now, just as a guide, just draw a short curved line at the top, sort of similar to a small hill. And on the right side of the body, draw a long curved line that curves to the right as a guide for the tail. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Okay, inside the head, lightly sketch a small oval for the eye and place the eye on top of the horizontal construction guide and close to the right edge of the head circle. And when you get the size and position of the eye right, darken the shape, but make the sides slightly pointier for the corners of the eye. And add a curved line at the top for the eyelid and a curved line at the bottom for another crease on the eye. And then higher up, draw another long curved line just to really emphasize the brow on the eye. And inside, draw a short horizontal line for the pupil. And now inside the muzzle, close to the left edge of the initial circle, draw a curved line for the first part of the nose. And follow the path of the initial circle as you draw this curved line, and then bend the line downward to create the tip of the nose, and to the right, draw a short sloping line for the first nostril and a curved line below that for the structure of the nostril. And on the left side, draw another curved line for the visible section of the other nostril. And under the nose, draw a short line for the first part of the mouth, and then curve the line to the right for the right side of the mouth. And then add another curved line on the left side for the front part of the muzzle. And below that, draw a curved line that follows the curvature of the circle for the chin. And on the right side of the eye, draw a small arc-like shape for the ear. And sketch lightly at first and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. Notice how short this ear is in relation to the head. Make the top of the ear slightly pointy too. And inside, draw a short line for the ear's opening. And now let's follow the path of the initial circle to draw the rest of the head. So let's darken the top, but make it slightly flatter than the initial circle. And on the left side, connect the nose to the top part of the head using a curved line. And on the left side, draw a short angled line, and at the bottom, draw a sloping line for the bottom part of the head, and add a few curved lines on the right side to emphasize the shape of the head. And add a curved line inside too for the jaw. And if you've made it this far, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Now let's move on to the body. Okay, now let's use the second line from the left that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. And first, let's lightly sketch the shape of the front leg around the guideline. And keep the lines of the leg, or the edges of the leg, close to the guideline so that the overall shape of the leg is thin. And at the bottom, draw a wide shape. And when you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. So let's make the top part of the leg a lot wider than the bottom, just to create the base of the leg. And near the middle of the leg, draw a curved shape for the joint. And let's actually bring this leg farther back slightly. And then at the very bottom, draw a sloping line inside the foot to separate the big toes. And in front of each toe, draw a curved line for the big nails. And now let's draw the leg on the left side the same way. First, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. And when you get the shape right, darken the lines. And add a curved shape near the middle to indicate the joint, and a curved shape at the bottom right above the foot for another joint. And split the foot or the front of the foot by drawing a sloping line, and draw a couple of short curved lines for the nails. Now draw the shape of the hind leg around the guideline on the far right side. So let's lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guide. And sketch lightly at first, and only darken the lines when you get the shape right. So let's curve the line near the middle too to create a few muscles and a few joints. Now let's draw the other hind leg. Same way, lightly sketch the hind leg around the guideline. Make the bottom wide for the foot, and then when you get the shape right, darken the lines. And now darken the outer edges of the initial guidelines to create the rest of the body. And as you darken the guides for the neck, draw a couple of curved lines and short strokes along the bottom to create a small patch of fur found on the neck. And as you draw the hump on the back, make it slightly taller than the initial guideline. You can actually make this a lot taller if you'd like. And at the top, draw a series of short angled lines to create a bit of fur at the top of the hump. And on the right side, draw the shape of the tail along the path of the guideline. And at the bottom, draw a few long strokes to create the fur on the tip of the tail. And now erase the initial guidelines. You don't have to erase all of the guides. It's okay if you leave some behind. If you want to erase more of the guidelines, you can use a thin eraser like this click eraser that I'm using, and it works great to get between the final lines and erase most of the guides. You can also use a kneaded eraser to pick up some of the graphite. Redraw any of the final lines that you may have accidentally erased. Now go over the final lines with permanent ink. Take your time and be careful when you ink your drawing to avoid any accidents. And when the ink dries, erase the rest of the pencil marks. Add a bit more ink to create deep shadows. Now color your drawing. Use dark brown to create more shadows across the body. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Pick a light source as you add the shadows so that they're consistent throughout the body. Here the light source is coming from the top, so most of the shadows will be on the undersides of the shapes. Use dark brown for the dark fur as well. Color using short strokes and spots to create some texture on the fur. Now add a lighter shade of brown across the rest of the body. Blend in the dark colors with the lighter shade of brown. Slowly and gradually add more shades of brown across the drawing. Use darker shades of brown to define the muscle structure across the body. Add a cast shadow at the bottom using brown and a bit of purple. Add a bit of purple to the shadows inside the body as well. Using a colored pencil, draw a few curved shapes along the bottom to create a few dunes in the background. Now color in the dunes using different shades of brown. Use dark brown for shadows and light brown for highlights. Don't overlap the camel as you add the background. Use different shades of blue to color in the sky. Go over the final lines again to emphasize the shapes. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result. And that's it for the camel. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to leave a comment below, to like the video, and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.